scientifica americana.
Ehi, altro che scientifica, è super detective americano.
Ma come questi film che fanno in televisione, come si chiama?
Oh my gosh, Bongo's coming back!
Vieni qui, piccioncino, vieni. Vola.
Gotcha!
Mio fratello si
Hello?
sposa, Vania, lo sai?
What kind of message is that? I'd better call
No,
Sophia.
che sciocchezza. Mio fratello si sposa con Maria, una bellissima donna.
Nancy, you have tracked the pigeon.
After it left Fongo's, it flew to Campo Santa Margarita. It landed right next to this place called Casa dei Giochi.
Casa dei Giochi. You are sure?
Yeah? Is something wrong?
Casa dei Giochi is a private club owned by Enrico Tazza. The police suspect that he fences stolen goods for big criminals like Leo Macchiano. If Fongo is working for the Phantom, perhaps Tazza is working for him too. Look around the Casa dei Giochi, Nancy. Talk to Tazza if you can. Get on his good side. See how much you can find out without making him suspicious. Was the pigeon carrying a message?
Yes, but all it says is hello in English, followed by an exclamation point.
There is a dot at the bottom of this exclamation point.
Yeah?
You must find a microscope and examine this dot, Nancy. If Fongo was sending a message to Tazza, maybe it's hidden there.
A microdot, of course. I'll do that. I'll find a microscope and take a look at it.
If I do not hear from you, you will hear from me.
Antonio?
Sì?
Puoi venire a cena domani, per caso?
Fammi vedere un attimo, devo chiamare la mamma perché senza il suo permesso non posso andare da nessuna parte.
Ah, ho capito.
È un vero mammone,
Sì.
Giuseppe.
Sì, lo sapevo sempre.
Felice anche.
I see from the way you are dressed, you are American. Who are you?
My name is Nancy Drew.
This is a private club. You cannot come in, sorry.
Ieri sera in televisione ho visto questo detective americano.
I need a card. Another package?
And I want you both to know that I am very sorry if that American girl is bothering you. It was not my idea for her to stay here, believe you me.
Yikes, they're talking about me. I shouldn't listen,
She doesn't bother me.
Nor me. In fact, I rather like her.
but I'm going to anyway.
This is because she spends most of her time on the roof bothering me. She's always up there looking through binoculars. She says she is bird watching.
Bird watching? She doesn't strike me as a type.
I'm a bit of a bird watcher myself. Just this morning I saw a flock of ibises near San Giorgio.
I was trapped at a party once by a bird watcher named Red Knot. All he talked about was grosbeaks and juncos and towies. I almost died of the boredom. Anyway, I apologize for the trouble she makes. If she bothers you, you tell me and I will tell her.
Oh, she's fine.
She's quite fine, actually.
If you change your mind, you know where to find me.
Hello, Nancy.
Would it be okay if I used your microscope?
I have a very strict policy when it comes to my equipment. No one touches it but me. And now, you. I trust you, Nancy. Please, be my guest.
Oh, thank you.
Hello, Nancy.
Does Margarita know that you went to prison in England for art theft?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not going to tell anyone. I just want to know.
My real name is Justin Beaumont. 2 years ago, I removed a Renoir from the private collection of a man to whom it was nothing more than a financial investment. I took it home so it would be appreciated as the masterpiece it was. Its former owner took issue with my actions. I was arrested, and I was sent to prison for a year. As for Margarita, she's the only one who knows. She says if I don't continue to work for her for next to nothing, she'll tell all her friends I have a criminal record, which would essentially end my career here in Venice, just like it ended my career back in England. If that were to happen, I'd be utterly lost.
How did Margarita find out?
I have no idea. She wouldn't tell me. What's worse, not only does she keep trying to get me to use substandard materials so she can save money on the renovations I'm doing for her, but she wants me to cover it up by lying to the Restoration Council about it. And for someone in my precarious position, let's just say resisting has been very, very difficult. Enough. I insist we change the subject.
Do you know who that box of chocolates in the entryway is for?
No, I didn't really look at it because I assumed it was for you. It's not?
No, it's for someone named Il Dottore.
Oh, I was afraid, I assumed they were from that Locket fellow of yours. Il Dottore. Wonder who that could be.
What are you going to be for Carnevale this year?
Working, that's what I'm going to be. I haven't been invited to any festivities, which is just as well because I detest costumes. So to Carnivale, I say, bah humbug.
I've kept you long enough.
Drop by again.
So, I noticed someone got a box of chocolates. You perhaps? From a secret admirer?
They're not for me. They're for someone named Il Dottore.
I thought that was someone's special name for you. How disappointing. Especially since I was going to ask you if I could have a piece. I'm starving. So, how do you like Venice?
Oh, it's incredible.
I think Venice is the most fascinating city in the world. Its history, its art, its layout. Everything about it is so rich and so beautiful, and there's so much about human ingenuity. I absolutely love it.
Have you ever thought about living here?
I have indeed. In fact, every time I come here, I make an effort to meet new people. Having friends is very important to me, you see? But I don't want to move here until I can afford my own palazzo. So, until that day, I shall have to content myself with staying here wherever I can and as often as I can.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a journalist. Right now, I live in Hamburg because that's where the offices of Your Event magazine are. I do most of my writing for them. But I know far more about Venice than I do about Hamburg. In fact, I know more about Venice than most Venetians do. I know where the best souvenir stands are, the nicest glass shops. Here, I'll make you a list of the cheapest cafes.
No, that's okay. You don't need to do that.
You don't want to know where the cheapest cafes are? Are you sure you're American?
I'm just not into touristy things, that's all.
I see.
Oh, but you could tell me what your very favorite spot in Venice is. I'd love to know that.
Oh, well, let me think. That would have to be Campo San Paolo. There's something, I don't know, something very avant-garde about it that's quite charming.
So what do you think about all this phantom thief stuff?
I probably shouldn't say this, but I think it's great. A caped figure darting down walkways beside moonlit canals, melting mist-like into the shadows, escaping not with stolen money, but stolen art. It's all just so wonderfully Venetian.
You condone what he's doing?
No, of course not. It just captures the imagination, that's all. As far as crime sprees go, this one is rather refreshing. Il Fantasma hasn't physically hurt anyone, and has some very interesting ideas when it comes to what's worth stealing. In fact, it's altogether possible this phantom could turn out to be a woman. Whew! That would be a story I'd write for free.
Since you're a journalist and you're right here, aren't you tempted to write a story about this phantom thief person?
As a matter of fact, I am writing a story for Your Welt.
So, have you dug up anything juicy?
This case is so huge, the police are swamped. Apparently, they've got people coming in from all over the world to help track down leads. My contacts at the police station are too busy to give me the time of day, let alone a juicy tip. However, one of my non-police sources just told me something very interesting. He said the word on the street is that the next thing the thief steals is going to be a person.
He's going to kidnap someone?
A very wealthy someone. At least, that's the rumor.
Do you talk to Colin Baxter very much?
I try to talk to him, but he's so focused on his work. Having a decent conversation with him is virtually impossible. Once, out of politeness, I feigned an interest in what he was doing, and the next thing I knew...
He was showing you his tesserae slides.
Yes! They went on and on and on! It was nightmarish. I felt like a seabird that had landed in an oil slick and couldn't fly away. The only way I could escape was to confess that I found the slides less than fascinating, which hurt his feelings terribly, I'm afraid, but it couldn't be helped.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me.
The man is obsessed, which is a shame, really. After all, he's not bad-looking, and there's a touch of intrigue about him.
What do you mean?
Once, while he was working, his cell phone rang. He immediately left the room to take the call, but as he was leaving, he picked up by saying, "This is Justin." Not Colin, Justin.
He's using a fake name?
Either Justin or Colin. One of them's fake.
Do you have a Carnivale costume yet?
No, but I have been invited to several parties, so I'm definitely going to get one. I've got this strange urge to dress up as a cat.
I'll come back later, okay?
It's been a pleasure. Pretty locket.
Thank you. My boyfriend gave it to me.
Boyfriend? You do have it all, don't you, Nancy Drew?